Okay, I've done loads of clan videos, but I haven't actually told you what a clan is, so here we go. By the way, pause and have a look at this. It's a really interesting map of where the different clans would be situated. Anyway, the word clan comes from the Gaelic for children. You can hear my child in the background. And they were established around the year 1100. And the early clans were extended family groups and related through a common ancestor. And they originated in the Scottish Highlands. Often they had strong armies because they were either family or thought of each other as family and so would fight for each other. A sept is a family with no direct bloodline to a clan, but they would choose a chief to follow. So they might live on the chief's land or be related through marriage. The chief controlled every aspect of daily life and would also lead their clan into battle. And because of this, they were often the best fighter and the best swordsman. And they were regarded as royalty within their clan. Arranged marriages were common, however. A couple could live together for a year as man and wife, and then at the end of the year decide if they actually wanted to get married or not. It's pretty progressive. They feuded terribly with each other. Clan Wallace. Your motto is for liberty, and this is your crest. Two origin theories for you. One is that they were Strathclyde Britons who inhabited the ancient kingdom of Strathclyde, or a Shropshire family who accompanied King David I to Scotland. They held lands in Kilmarnock, Elderslie and Auchenbothy, which apparently is in Renfrewshire, but I live in Renfrewshire and I have never heard of it. Malcolm Wallace of Elderslie died after not paying fealty to King Edward I of England. He and his eldest son were actually executed. It's thought that William Wallace, that William, was his son, but it turns out he was actually the son of his brother, Alan. And I'm not really going to talk about him because I've got a video on him already. Hugh Wallace was created a baronet of Nova Scotia, and the Wallaces of Cairnhill lived in Jamaica for many generations. Couldn't find any information on whether they did or didn't support the Jacobites, and apparently, at the decision of the clan chief, there are no septs of the clan Wallace. Clan McTavish. Your motto is not forgetful, and this is your crest. They are connected by blood to Niall of the Nine Hostages, High King of Ireland, and he's also the ancestor of Clan MacNeil and Clan McLaughlin. Clan McTavish followed Clan Campbell and held lands in Argyll. Duncan, 6th chief of the Clan McTavish, and Ian, the 7th chief of the Clan McTavish, were both killed at the Battle of Flodden. And in the 1715 Jacobite uprising, the McTavishes were sympathetic to the Jacobite cause but didn't actually take part. And during the 1745 uprising, the chief was imprisoned in Dumbarton Castle, and so the clan had no formal leader. And as a result, some of the McTavish clansmen allied themselves with other clans in order to fight, and so took part in the Battle of Culloden that way. They might have regretted that move. Clan Stewart. Your motto is courage grows strong at the wound, and this is your crest. It began with Walter FitzAlan, who accompanied David I to Scotland in 1124, and he was appointed High Steward. And in 1153 this was made a hereditary office, and his grandson adopted the title as his surname. Another Walter married Marjorie Bruce, the daughter of Robert the Bruce, and their child Robert became King Robert II, when Bruce's son David died childless. They're a lowland family but have offshoots in the Highlands and Islands. After the reign of Mary Queen of Scots, many Stuarts changed their spelling from Stuart with a W to Stuart with a U, and the majority of Stuart monarchs met violent ends. James I was murdered, James II was killed by a bursting cannon, James III died fleeing the battlefield, James IV was killed at the Battle of Flodden, James V died after battle from wounds he sustained, and Mary Queen of Scots was beheaded. The Stuarts of Bute supported the government during the 1715 Jacobite uprising. 1763, John Stewart concluded the treaty with France which ended the 7 Years' War. Okay, Clan Chattan. The motto is touch not the cat but a glove. And here's the clans and the lands that make up the Clan Chattan. They are a confederation of Highland clans, and they are made up of McPherson, McBean, McPhail, McIntosh, Shaw, Farquharson, Ritchie, McThomas, McGilvery, Davidson, McLeans of Dongarrick, McQueen, McIntyres of Badenoch, and the McAndrews. Each clan had its own individual chief, but Clan Chattan as a confederation also had a leader, and this would be the chief of the Clan McIntosh. They were big supporters of the Jacobite cause of 1715 and 1745. However, in 1745, the head of the Clan Chattan was actually an officer in the Black Watch that fought for the government. And so his wife Anne called out the clans to fight for Bonnie Prince Charlie and the Jacobites. However, it didn't go so well, and they took heavy losses at the Battle of Culloden. And so some clans broke away from the Clan Chattan and did their own thing. Seeing as this is my husband's clan, I feel like I should have done it sooner, but Clan Hamilton. Your motto is through, and this is your crest. It appears to begin with Walter Fitzgilbert from Hamildon, who was first recorded in 1295. James Hamilton married Princess Mary Stewart, who was daughter of King James III, and he was made Lord Hamilton. In 1528, Patrick Hamilton was burned at the stake as Scotland's first Protestant martyr. And back to James and Mary, their grandson actually served as the regent when Mary Queen of Scots was an infant, so he was effectively the king. And the Hamiltons were among those who helped engineer her escape from Lochleven Castle. In fact, Claude Hamilton, Lord Paisley, led the escape, and she was taken to Hamilton clan lands in the west. And the Hamiltons fought on both sides of the Jacobite Revolution. In 1752, the 6th Duke of Hamilton married Irish actress Elizabeth Gunning, and she became lady-in-waiting to Queen Charlotte of Bridgerton fame, and she became a favourite of the King and Queen, and was created Baroness Hamilton of Hamildon. And Princes William and Harry are descended from the Hamiltons on both sides of their family. Clan Hepburn. Your motto is keep tryst, and this is your crest. The Scottish Hepburns were recorded as being an old and powerful race, but of uncertain origin and of evil destiny. Robert the Bruce granted Sir Adam de Hepburn the castle and estate of Hales. And Patrick Hepburn, he was a busy man. He was appointed High Admiral of Scotland, Keeper of the King's Household, Keeper of Edinburgh Castle, Captain of Dumbarton Castle, Principal of Edinburgh and Haddington, and Lord of Orkney. Patrick also stood as proxy to the King at his marriage to Princess Margaret Tudor. She's Henry VIII's sister. But he was slain at the Battle of Flodden. James Hepburn escorted Mary Queen of Scots to Scotland from France. However, he was implicated in the murder of her husband, Lord Darnley. And so he then married Mary, but he fled to Denmark. But he was arrested and held in solitary confinement at Dragsholm Castle, and he died there in pretty horrible conditions over a decade later. Okay, Clan Sinclair or Sinclair. Your motto is commit thy work to God, and this is your crest. Sir William Sinclair arrived in Scotland with Princess Margaret Atherling, who became the second wife of Malcolm III. The Sinclairs fought for Robert the Bruce and received the lands of Pentland as a reward in 1317. Sir Henry Sinclair became the first Sinclair Prince of Orkney, and therefore he owed allegiance to the Scottish Crown and to Norway. He travelled to the Faroe Islands, Greenland, Nova Scotia and North America. Prince William Sinclair built Roslin Chapel, of Da Vinci Code fame. In 1469, the Orkney Islands were annexed by the Scottish Crown, and this meant that Sinclairs could no longer style themselves as prince. The 4th Earl of Caithness imprisoned and starved his own son to death for making peace with the Clan Moray, and John Sinclair officiated at the wedding of Mary Queen of Scots to Lord Darnley. Okay, someone asked for Clan McQueenie. Given what we know about how spellings worked, we can assume that Clan McQueenie is an offset of the Clan McQueen. So the Clan McQueen motto is constant and faithful, and this is your crest. McQueen is an old Dalriadan Scottish name, which comes from the Gaelic, which means good going. And apparently the name McQueenie was first found on the Isles of Skye. Oh, and Lewis, where they were a branch of the Clan MacDonald of Clanranald. And it's also a popular surname in Ulster. But that's all I could find for specifically McQueenie. I would look into McQueen because, as I say, I think that they're very closely linked, if not the same clan. Clan McNab, Clan McNab. Your motto is, let fear be far from all. And this is your crest. Apparently the first chiefs were Celtic abbots from Glendochart, and in Gaelic the name translates to son of the abbot. That makes sense. Apparently the founder of the clan was a nephew of St Fillan. They fought against Robert the Bruce, and after Bruce's victory their lands on Loch Tay were confiscated. Apparently lots of battles were fought between the Clan McNab and the Clan Niche. After a particularly vicious battle, most of the Clan Niche were killed. However, some of the clan fled and ended up living on an island that they called Niche Island. It sounds so bizarre, but yet true.